Today on Play to Win, the Falcons are preparing for a must-win game against Dallas after last week's upset against Cleveland. Should the fans be upset that the players admitted to not taking the Browns seriously? David Shealy gives us the scoop on the Falcons locker room. It's all that and more coming up on the fastest 30 minutes in television, football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by Nissan and This Is It Barbecue. Welcome to football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, player medical and injury reports with Dr. Sadiq El Amin, Falcons All-Pro running back Jamal Anderson, and your host, Nikki Williams. Today's Hometown Team Report is brought to you by Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers, a higher order of pizza for your tailgating events.
Good morning, Atlanta, and welcome back to another week of football's Play to Win with me and my boys, Bob Whitfield, Jamal Anderson, Chuck Smith. I've missed you guys. It's been a whole week. Yeah. And you know what? Not much has changed when it comes to the college football playoff rankings. Let's take a look at those right now. Not a lot of movement there. Obviously, this is going to change a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna get crazy as the season goes along, but I'm gonna tell you that's a tough one. Michigan, they still got to travel to Columbus. To me, Michigan's one of the teams that, I don't know if they're gonna be able to finish.
Well, that's been a team that Harbaugh's not been able to overcome. So
but he's proving this point this year, though.
The
man can coach right now. Right now,
still has to be Ohio State. You called it.
Notre Dame too. They got two this week and next week.
Right.
Although
I'm not worried about USC.
Still a whole lot of meat and potatoes in there. We switch it over to our hometown teams. Georgia, UMass, what's that, an expensive nap? I mean, they got to get healthy, right, before they take on Bama and Tech?
Well, they got a lot of linemen injured, Nikki, and with a lot of linemen, your big guys up front, your running game, it benefits from those guys being healthy. If they're not healthy, you have to put in guys that don't have as much experience, but you still expect that running game to prosper. So even with new guys stepping in, if Cade Mays and the shoulder doesn't work this week, I still expect the running game to prosper. They are well coached at that Georgia line.
Virginia headed in to take on Georgia Tech. Virginia's kind of gotten hot too. So these are a couple of hot teams. Virginia has not won a game at Bobby Dodd since 2004. 2008, sorry.
2008,
yeah.
You know, it's funny, though, but what is Georgia Tech doing well? What they've always done well, they just broke a record now. So last year, 400-yard games. This is an offense that I would personally love to be a part of as a running back, and the two quarterback system's been working out great for them. But
no, you wouldn't.
Well, I want to run the ball 40 times a game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the quarterback runs the ball 40 times a game.
No, but they hand the ball off a lot.
Now,
of course, if I was in your office, give me a break. If I was a running back in your offense, I'd probably run 35 times.
Are you jockeying up for a job right now?
No, I'm just saying.
you ran 35 times in any offense.
You're right.
All offenses. But, Georgia Tech's doing it. I mean, they won 3 in a row doing their thing. But, the thing that's interesting about Virginia, this is a huge year for Virginia. I mean, this is one of the best seasons Virginia's had in like a decade. And so, it's not going to be a cakewalk, but I give Georgia Tech a lot of credit. From a defensive standpoint, the one thing that's improved this year from last year is they're getting the turnovers and not turning the ball over. So that's going to be big today.
When that coach came over from BYU, did he make the right decision?
He made the right decision.
Hey.
Cowboys headed to the Falcons. Both of these teams pretty desperate for a win right now.
It's beyond desperate. If you're the Falcons and you just gave up all those yards to a running back in Nick Chubb, a Georgia guy, what are you thinking about Ezekiel Elliott coming to town? And that's where it makes the fans, people watching, like, you gave up about almost 200 to Chubb. You might give up 500 to Ezekiel because they are going to try to run the ball down the Falcons' throat.
I just want to talk. You just talk about the disappointment, okay? So you go into Washington. You shut Adrian Peterson down. You dominate the Redskins on the road, a team that was leading the division. And the follow-up is the Browns' performance. I'm hot. I've been hot all week. I'm hot like I was in the locker room.
Well, you hot from experience because we all three been there.
Yes.
We done been there,
and when
so
you
I understand Falcons. We part of the legacy, so we done had some letdowns like that too. But the thing that's crazy about it, when you go out, it just seems like on certain days like that, it's just the energy's not there. You keep trying to get going, but it's really interesting when you come out and have to have a player come out.
But if he puts the microphone in your face, you don't tell the reporter that we wasn't ready. We just took them lightly. You got to lie then. You got to go through.
All right, guys, we're going to dig into the Falcons coming up a little later in the show. Coming up next, slow week in the SEC. Is that a good thing or a bad thing that they've got these cupcake matches? We'll dive into it when we come back on Football's Play to Win.
Fuel your football. Come to Mellow Mushroom for craft brews, fresh cocktails, and stone-baked pizzas. Or mellow at your own home gate. Tailgating? No matter who wins, it's always mellow for the win. Fuel your football with Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
The rules of luxury. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't use. Use, but don't enjoy. Enjoy, but don't show it.
If you're going to follow one rule, make sure it's this one. Luxury should be lived in. During the Infiniti Winter Sales Event, lease the Infiniti QX50 for $379 a month or finance at 0.9% APR at your Atlanta area Infiniti retailer.
There is a better way to get you and your company in the hands of potential clients 24/7. This is IntelliCard, today's digital business card. It is the ultimate sales, branding, and marketing tool. With IntelliCard, all of your information is in one place, making it easier to share and recall. IntelliCard is different. You get all of this in a highly secure web-based solution designed to get you results.
Take advantage of our special TV offer. Call now and get your IntelliCard for only $99. Work smarter and increase your sales today with IntelliCard.
It's me, Wanda Smith, and is your schedule anything like mine? Busy, busy, busy. Listen, the holidays are approaching, and I just cannot stand over a hot stove. So do what I'm going to do. I'm going to order it all from This Is It. Place your order online. Your choice of smoked or fried turkey, ham, cornbread dressing, and plenty of delicious veggies to choose from. Pick it up, chill, then simply heat and serve. Order today. Holiday dinner, check.
Today's SEC and ACC report is being brought to you by Nissan.
Welcome back to Play to Win, and welcome back, Jeffrey, the Ed Schechter, our magic man over here.
Right. Yeah.
Slow week in the SEC. Let's take a look at some of these non-conference games we're working with today.
The Citadel.
So, they take a break before rivalry week, and they get healthy. Do you guys love that idea, or do you hate it?
I like it. I like everybody gets a chance to get healthy and.
UAB Texas A&M is the only game on there.
What is this?
I said UAB Texas A&M. That's the only game on there. But you're right. Listen. Why would you pick up a game like a strong out of conference game or whatever? If that's kind of the trend. I don't like it either. But I'm not about to be Georgia and I'm gonna go play like some crazy team on the West Coast when Alabama's playing.
I'm just saying. I'm thinking sucks for the kids that have to line up and you're like, hey man, I've been playing cream puff, powder puff football all year. Now all of a sudden I gotta go play Alabama.
It's a mid-season break. That's all it is.
But you're looking at Alabama. So you're saying as a kid, you're like, oh man, mom, I'm about to get my neck broke.
Yeah, you're looking at Colorado, you know what I'm saying? Like Colorado, right? Like Utah, the Utes got to play. I mean, that's like a cakewalk for SEC team.
No, Colorado's not a. It's
man,
still.
they lost like 5 straight or something.
Coach is getting fired. So
I'm not feeling the Pac-12 this year right now. I mean, it's again.
That's so funny. You should say that because you been carrying a Husky flag in your back pocket all year. Now you're a representative of the Dogs.
That was my way. No.
Tennessee's finest out here dressed like Georgia's chancellor.
This is the Falcons representing the Falcons. See how we do.
Okay.
But matter of fact, Tennessee right now, we probably could dust off Utah and definitely Stanford. I got a chance to see them live.
Oh, captain call out over there. What about Duke headed to number 2 Clemson? Duke's been all right lately.
Yeah, they'll get their heads handed to them, but
They're 7-3. They got a chance to make it competitive, but who do we expect to win? We expect Clemson to win, so it's not the Citadel, Alabama.
But look, I tell you one thing that Duke has going for him. David Cutcliffe knows how to coach. I mean, he's a good, solid coach. Now, will he beat Clemson? No, but I think it'll be competitive for about the first 60 seconds.
First 60 seconds. This is their first ranked opponent.
Hey, sorry,
all
Duke. I love you, though.
Pitt, Wake Forest. Pitt takes this. They take on Clemson in the ACC title game.
let me tell you about Pitt.
Tell me about
They are
it.
tremendously dangerous. They got the best running in college. They've come on, and if they win this, they'll play Clemson. If I was Clemson, I'd be a little concerned about Pitt. Really.
Concerned.
Well, Wake Forest can't stop the run, so I think that sets up well.
Wake Forest can't tackle themselves.
Right.
I mean,
So it sets up well for Pitt to come in
run
and
the
slide.
ball.
Yeah, run the ball and face Clemson. And
very dangerous team, Pitt.
All right, well, let's take a look at our college football showdown of the week.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by the Georgia Lottery.
Notre Dame and Cuse. You guys were talking about this before we started the show, playing in the Yankee Stadium.
Well, I think the job that Syracuse head coach Dino Babers has done since he's been there has been tremendous. I mean, the way that team has played, the energy, he's in one season reignited that entire program and that fan base, and it's a totally different thing. I mean, they destroyed. I remember was it week 2 or 3, they took Florida State apart, and that kind of set the precedence for the way they were playing this entire season. It's a new energy there. This is a huge football game for that program.
and they went down to the wire with Clemson.
Yep, they
could've-
did.
They
They
should have
should've
won that
won.
game.
They should've won.
Absolutely.
They
so
should've
what
won.
about the program that has huge football games every week?
Notre Dame?
is built for this kind of stuff. They looking at Syracuse and they chomping at them because they know this is the road that they got to go down and travel, and they're going to knock everything down in their path. Kelly has been at Notre Dame too long not to have a national championship under his belt.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like this is your best opportunity.
And
You got
this
a
is where
quarterback
things get very interesting for his teams.
You got a quarterback in the iron book, and so this is your chance.
But Notre Dame was lucky this year because these teams that are supposed to be good weren't so good, like Virginia Tech, Stanford. So, I mean,
What
Notre
you
Dame
talking about, Steph? You've been hanging out with Chuck too much. man.
Jeffrey, how do you see the game?
Well, it's a neutral game at Yankee Stadium. I grew up in New York, and there wasn't really much interest in college football, but anybody where I grew up who was a college football fan was a Notre Dame fan. So they may be the home team, but I like Syracuse with the 10.5. They're playing great ball. I think they can give Notre Dame a hard time.
Well, Yankee Stadium?
Preaching it's our, you don't argue with
Syracuse
Jeffrey.
plays well there.
We argue with Jeffrey when we come back. Guys, stick with us when we come back. It's time for our dog report. Play to win.
Black Friday means the best tech with the best savings. And now at Nissan's year-end event, you can get both in our award-winning lineup. No brand has earned more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan in 2018. Get Black Friday savings before they're gone.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,687 on select models.
But hurry, Black Friday savings ends soon.
Every TV doctor knows nothing's more important than a good bedside manner.
I don't know how to say this. It's okay, Doc. Give it to me straight. No, you don't understand. I don't know how to say this. I'm just a TV doctor.
They also know you should get your annual checkup.
It could save your life.
Schedule a checkup with your doctor. Know your 4 health numbers and start taking control of your health today. Cigna, together, all the way.
Is it true Academy speaks Guy?
It sure is. So what did your dad say when you asked him about Christmas?
He just said, I don't know.
Oh, easy. Sports gear. Save $10 when you spend $50.
From the store that knows gifts best, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Today's University of Georgia report is being brought to you by This Is It Barbecue and Seafood.
Welcome back to Play to Win. It's time for our dog report. We're going to talk some Bulldogs, UMass at Georgia. Chuck, you just went to UGA last week, right?
Yeah, I did and had a fantastic time. Look, shout out to Lukeman, the whole crew down there, Coach Kirby Smart and Gant. I mean, unbelievable environment down there at Georgia now. I mean, they doing a daggone thing when it comes to recruiting, so I got to see it. Big stuff happening at UGA, much respect.
What do you think is going to go on with the game today?
Well, I think Georgia has to, number one, work on improving, I believe, is the pass rush without sending pressure. They're very successful when they blitz, but they haven't been successful when they try to rush with 4 men. So I think it's going to be important for Georgia to keep developing that, particularly when they play against Alabama.
And I just think that what you're going to see a lot because of the red zone struggles is them concentrating on running the ball when they get down tight. Just being physical, pushing it in and starting to put forth the mentality that they're going to need, and especially in the next 2 games.
It's not always about the red zone, brother.
I don't disagree, but I don't think they're going to have a hard time getting into the red zone.
40 yards in before you get to the red zone. When you have good receivers, you can stretch the ball to that tight end on those seam routes. Georgia can start hitting those passes and throw their way in so they can basically jump over the red zone with 40-yard TD passes that would make Fromm push his way up on the Heisman watch list by throwing the ball down the field in those key
This is a
situations.
game. It's like batting practice. You just, you know, you get all your stuff done and work on all your weaknesses, get Fields in there. And
Okay, fine. So it's a learning experience. So how do each of you think Georgia can grow this week? Where can they improve?
I want to see play action pass in those areas, throwing it downfield.
Well, I said the same thing I just said a second ago. I think they can grow when it comes to the pass rush, when it comes to winning the individual one-on-one matchups. No, because the deal is, when you play against Alabama and Tua, you're going to have guys that can get there without sending pressure, because one thing Alabama does, they recognize that, and they're too good for you to keep continuously sending blitzes with multiple players. You're going to have to rush one-on-one and beat guys man for man if you're going to have a chance to win the SEC championship.
let me say this. You get the red zone against UMass, it's much different than the red zone against Alabama. So really, it is what it is.
Expert opinions, and I know you guys have got skills too, so head over to our Play to Win website. It's time for our Ippolito's You Be the Expert contest. This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be #1 against all the competition by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $100 and $50 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners. So make sure you come back every week and prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting this week's college and NFL games. Ippolito's, a great neighborhood Italian restaurant. All right, guys, stick with us. When we come back on Football's Play to Win, we're going to talk some Atlanta Falcons, see how they can pull out a win versus Dallas, and we'll catch up with David Shealy, who gives us some insight into the mindset of the franchise of the Falcons. It's all coming up next on Football's Play to Win.
Look what God has done. Thank you. Because of your support, we've grown to locations all over Atlanta. This is the time of year where we all take time to give thanks and to celebrate with family and friends. May God richly bless you and your family is our prayer. Thank you and happy holidays! See you soon!
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
Fuel your football. Come to Mellow Mushroom for craft brews, fresh cocktails, and stone-baked pizzas. Or mellow at your own home gate. Tailgating? No matter who wins, it's always mellow for the win. Fuel your football with Mellow Mushroom Pizza Bakers.
Today's show is being brought to you by Mellow Mushroom, Atlanta Peach Movers, and the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Today's Atlanta Falcons report is being brought to you by McDonald's.
Welcome back to Play to Win. It's time to talk some Dirty Birds, but first let's throw up what our NFC South standings look like right now.
Talk about being in the hunt, Nikki. Look at Atlanta right there, 4-5, sitting pretty right now. Sitting pretty. Gang of optimism.
I like to think that the 8-1 Saints are sitting pretty.
Oh, I forgot about them. Oh, that's what that said? I'll have my glasses today.
It's 4 and 5, not 4 out of 5.
Wow.
Okay, it's all right. You know what? When you're in a situation like this, it's always nice to get in the mindset of the franchise when it comes to the Falcons. So let's check in with correspondent David Shealy, who's going to give us a little bit of locker room insight.
Last week, the Falcons fell to the Cleveland Browns 28-16, but the 4-5 record doesn't concern me the most. It's that after the game, linebacker Devondre Campbell said Atlanta didn't really take their opponent too seriously heading to that matchup. Now, that's a mindset that makes me wonder, has Atlanta heard of the phrase any given Sunday? Because any given Sunday means regardless of a team's past or their current record, they can beat you or any opponent. It's that type of mindset and that phrase that led Atlanta over Minnesota to get to Super Bowl 33. It's that mindset that led the 2010 Falcons to go into New Orleans and beat the defending Super Bowl champion Saints. But not taking your opponent seriously will keep the 2018 Falcons out of the playoffs and most certainly the Super Bowl. I'm David Shealy. Back to Nikki and the guys.
Thanks, David.
Great job.
I like David. No, he didn't give us a shout out.
Yes, well done, David. Well done.
Are we mad? I mean, as an Atlanta Falcons fan, are you ticked off that the Browns were overlooked by the Falcons?
I'm not a fan, but let me tell you something.
We know you're not a fan.
They're horrible. They looked absolutely horrible last week.
Tell us how you really feel.
And when you're on the 1 yard line, you run 8 plays on the 1 yard line, and you can't put your quarterback under center and run it in, they're not going anywhere. They start thinking about draft picks.
I'm not that sour on the Falcons just yet. I think they still have some games to play. They play everybody in the division, so the Falcons can still rebound from a bad game in Cleveland. Hey, they got Dallas coming up, and we know what the Mercedes-Benz is going to look like. Dallas travels well with all their local Dallas people that's going to wear blue and gray and silver up in the Mercedes-Benz Dome. So it's going to be like a road trip.
It's a must-win. This is the bottom line. I mean, they've been in this predicament for a couple of weeks now, but you kind of felt like, again, that this team was over the hump until the Cleveland game happened. There's no question about this is a must-win game for the Falcons, or this is it.
They're 4-6, they're done.
Yeah, you're not going to catch the Panthers.
How did the Falcons beat Dallas?
Well, first they got to stop the run. That's most important. You got Ezekiel Elliott and this big offensive line. The Falcons got to play behind their pads. They got to start striking blocks. Because what I noticed last week against the Cleveland Browns, their pad level was high and they were getting moved around on the defensive line. I know that's something they're going to work on and something I've heard them talk about when it comes to what's going to happen this weekend. But it's important for them to play with your shoulder pads down, hands up. You got to use your hands. You got to play with leverage. It's going to be important when you're playing against a big physical team like Dallas.
Is the pressure on Vic Beasley? Because we talked offset about his performance. Is the pressure on guys like Vic Beasley, Grady Jarrett to have to make all the plays to make a
Grady
victory?
Jarrett's been making plays.
Yeah, he's been doing it.
Definitely, I think there's some pressure on Vic Beasley. Obviously to make plays and to produce with where he was drafted. But these guys stick with guys. You know that they stick with their players.
Jeffrey, I'm almost afraid to ask you, but how do you see the game?
Well, I picked Atlanta last week. I live to regret it. I'm not picking them this week. I like the Cowboys with 3.5. There'll probably be as many Cowboy fans there as Falcon fans.
We're not encouraging that, by the way.
Sounds like you might have learned your lesson. Guys, stick with us when we come back. It's our NFL Player Medical Report. We'll go over all these injuries plaguing the NFL. That and more coming up on Football's Play to Win.
Hey, Pops. I got you your usual. You need to run off?
No. I got plenty of time.
Here's to making your morning routine a little better.
And it all starts with breakfast at McDonald's. Because right now, you can get your favorite savory sausage McMuffin, buttery sausage biscuit, or any size soft drink or sweet tea for just $1.
Black Friday means the best tech with the best savings. And now at Nissan's year-end event, you can get both in our award-winning lineup. No brand has earned more J.D. Power Initial Quality Awards for cars and trucks than Nissan in 2018. Get Black Friday savings before they're gone.
Get 0% financing for 60 months on 13 models, or save up to $10,687 on select models.
But hurry, Black Friday savings ends soon.
Feast on one of Longhorn's steakhouse cuts. 12-ounce New York strip, center cut Flo's filet. For a limited time, 14-ounce Delmonico. The feeling, the flavor, the place. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Today's Player, Medical, and Injury Report is being brought to you by the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute.
Welcome back to Football's Play to Win. Sitting here now with Dr. E, the man with the plan over here when it comes to these NFL injuries. We all want to hear about Dez Bryant. Does it rhyme with karma? What the heck is going on?
I know, this is unfortunate. Right, the right day before he's getting ready to play the game.
Second full practice, right?
Second full practice. He tears his Achilles tendon on the last play of practice. So, as you know, he is out for the season. So, big ups to him because, he's basically working really hard to get back, and this was his chance. And those are really bad injuries. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the Dez Bryant sign right there.
Now, if he comes back next season, is he going to suffer some sort of decline? Is it really the second full season back that you look to?
It is. I mean, it is. I mean, these are very tough injuries, and this is definitely going to cut his speed down the field. But hopefully, knowing him, he'll work hard and he'll get back. Wishing him the best of luck.
Wish him the best of luck. Cooper Kupp, Rams wide receiver.
The Rams wide receiver, again, he hurt his knee in the game last week, so he's out for possibly 2 to 3 games. So big hit on him.
Dwayne Allen, the tight end for the Patriots.
As you know, he's the tight end. He's basically been filling in for Gronk, who hasn't really played much. So he basically hurt his knee. He's going to be out as well for 2 to 3 weeks.
That's a real problem at depth. Rob Gronkowski, obviously.
Right. We know he's been dealing with back injuries, ankle injuries. He hasn't really played with Elderman this year as well. He's going to get back as well, but he's dealing with an ankle injury. So hopefully he should get back because Allen's out, but he's not going to be really effective. I don't see him running on the field a lot.
What is going on with Jakeem Grant over at the Dolphins?
That's right. That's their speedster. He hurt his leg really bad. Doesn't need surgery, but he could be out 2 to 3 weeks, possibly the whole season. So we wish him the best.
Wishing everybody the best.
A lot of tough injuries this week.
The season, the injuries, and season ending.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
For some of these guys, it's really heartbreaking.
Right.
All right, everybody, we've got some good news though. When you come back, it's going to be the lightning round with Jeffrey the Ed Schechter. We'll have all his picks coming up next on Play to Win.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
Drug Studies America in Marietta is looking for patients who have a herniated disc or those suffering from low back pain, knee pain, hip pain, or pain from CRPS. Call this number now. You will receive free medical treatment and compensation for your time and travel at every visit. If you have a herniated disc or are suffering from low back pain, knee pain, hip pain, or pain from CRPS, please call Drug Studies America today.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they did, they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
All right, guys, it's time for the lightning round. Jeffrey, take it away.
First game's a trap. Oklahoma State at home is very tough, and I think they'll beat West Virginia, take the 4.5. I'm liking Tennessee. They're playing good ball, and I think they're going to handle Missouri at home, take the 6.
Balls for life.
There you go.
Okay, Jeff.
Go Chuck. And Iowa State is much better at home than on the road. I think Texas will beat them bad, give it 3. Tennessee is playing very good ball. I like the Titans over Indianapolis. I like Minnesota against Chicago. I think Cousins will pick them apart. And then Monday night, I like the Rams over Kansas City. It's a great game. Give the 3.5 with the Rams.
All right, Jeffrey, that was the gospel. Thank you guys for sticking with us here on Football's Play to Win. We'll see you all next week.
Today's show has been brought to you by McDonald's and Georgia Lottery.